Good morning. This is TIS Indy News reporting from 30 Independence Center, Rita's Way in Delaware.
I am Austin.
And I am Sabrina.
Just in is the discovery of the geologic timescale. This is amazing for mankind.
And TIS Indy has the latest news, live from the locations in the timeline.
Let's go all the way back to our reporter stuck in the Precambrian era.
Hello, we are here in the Precambrian time period, which was 4.5 billion years ago to about 542 million years ago.
The Precambrian time period is the earliest of all geologic ages.
We know this because the layers of sedimentary rock that have been laid down on the Earth's surface have been, over the years, contain a permanent record.
Life is now developing from simple chemicals in the ocean and the atmosphere.
Energy from radiation and storms is causing these chemicals to react.
Cyanobacteria are beginning to release oxygens into the ocean and air.
It's creating a layer of gas in the upper atmosphere.
Now it has been 1 billion years and the organisms are larger and more complex.
There are violent thunderstorms, volcanic eruptions, and intense radiation.
Now let's take a look in this microscope at some cyanobacteria.
Wow, look, it's about to release oxygen. This is so fascinating.
Thanks for watching.
Now back to the news reporters later in the time.
Over and out from the Precambrian era and now to our friends in the Paleozoic era.
I'm Hamza.
Hi, I'm Miha.
I'm Ashley.
And we are here to talk about the Paleozoic era. The Paleozoic era began about 542 million years ago and ended about 251 million years ago. During this era, there were 6 periods, which were the Cambrian, the Ordovician, the Silurian, the Devonian, the Carboniferous, and the Permian periods.
The Paleozoic era was the era when the first multicellular organisms evolved. These animals included sponges, sharks, and many other marine creatures. Also, it was a time when plants and animals began to live on land. All the major plant groups evolved during this era, like ferns, these plants.
Fossils indicate that crawling insects like trilobites were some of the first animals to live on land during this era. The end of the Paleozoic era was marked by the largest known mass extinction. 90% of marine species died out. The cause of this extinction is unknown.
Over and out, and back to our friends at the news desk.
Thank you. Now, let's go to our reporters in the Mesozoic era.
Hi, I'm Brad.
Hi, I'm Caitlin. Hi, I'm Mason. Please listen closely as we provide this puppet show on the Mesozoic era.
Dinosaurs roamed the Earth from 251 million years ago to the start of the Cenozoic era 65 million years ago.
The Mesozoic era was known as the Age of the Reptiles. The dominant species were alligators, turtles, and most marine life.
There were 3 main periods in the Mesozoic era: the Cretaceous, Jurassic, and Triassic. The dinosaur became extinct in the Cretaceous period. Scientists think it could have been caused by a meteor. All dinosaurs were killed.
Today's turtles were known as in the Jurassic period Ichthyosaurus.
The first flowering plants were in the Jurassic period.
Thank you. Now back to our friends at our newsstand.
Now it's our turn. Up next, Austin and I go into the Cenozoic era after the short commercial break. 65.5 million years ago, the Cenozoic era started. There were 2 periods, the Tertiary period and the Quaternary period. This era is known as the Age of the Mammals. There are 5 epochs in the Tertiary period. 65.5 million years ago, the Cenozoic era started. There are 2 periods, the Tertiary period and the Quaternary period. There are 5 epochs in the Tertiary period and 2 in the Quaternary. This era is also known as the Age of the Mammals. We currently live in this era and in the Quaternary period and Holocene epoch.
Whoa! Look at that Homo habilis! In the Tertiary period, present life began. present-day life began to form. Mammals and marine life were dominant by mollusks and one-celled organisms. After the Tertiary period, the Quaternary period began.
Hello. In the Quaternary period, which are made up of the epochs Holocene and Pleistocene, the Quaternary period includes many ice ages. Important events in the Earth's history, such as the Ice Ages. The Ice Ages happened 2 million years ago, when the glaciers covered the Earth. Another important event is when the first modern man appeared, about 50,000 years ago. That concludes our report on the Quaternary period. See you next period.
Now to our friends who are researching hominids.
The Homo habilis, or handyman, evolved 2.4 million years ago. These early people were the first to use stone tools. They were about 5 feet tall and had fairly large brains. Next, around 1.8 million years ago, the Homo erectus appeared and were probably the first hominid to use fire. The Homo sapiens, also known as the Homo heidelbergensis, acquired a large brain, and it was larger than the Homo erectus, but smaller than the modern humans inside a more rounded head.
The Neanderthal was one type of recent hominids. They were well adapted to their cold climate, with thick, heavy bones and powerful muscles. The Neanderthal's brain was larger than the brain of a living human and possessed short limbs. They, however, became extinct for a reason scientists have yet to find out. Lastly, we are here 100,000 years ago with an early Homo sapien. This group is the only species of hominids that is still alive. They produce fine artwork in forms of paintings, carvings, and sculptures, and made elaborate tools out of many types of materials.